Hey, I'm Matthew Moscoviak from CNET, and we're going to take a look at the Yamaha RXV 473. This is a 5.1 AV receiver with built-in AirPlay and is currently selling for $350. Now, the design is pretty much like any other AV receiver. This is a big, full-size unit, so you're going to need sizable shelf space to hold it. The included remote is about as confusing as it gets, with tons of tiny buttons and confusing labels, so you'll definitely want to consider a universal remote if you go with this receiver. You can also control it with Yamaha's smartphone app, which is available for iOS and Android, and it has a much more straightforward interface than the physical remote. Some AV receivers have upgraded to fancy graphical displays, but the RXV 473's display looks pretty ancient. It's kind of bizarre to see this kind of blocky text on a high-def TV, especially since the entire screen refreshes every time you press a button. Now, you're honestly not going to see these setup menus that much, but you will get the same kind of experience when you're using the built-in AirPlay functionality. Around back is the connectivity, and there are only 4 HDMI inputs, which is pretty skimpy when most receivers at this price point include 5 or even 6. There's an Ethernet port which you'll need to connect for AirPlay, smartphone control, and internet radio, but there aren't any additional streaming music services built in like Pandora or Spotify. For legacy devices, there are also 4 digital audio inputs, including 2 optical and 2 coaxial ports. Sound quality on the Yamaha is good, although it's not quite at the level of some of our other favorite receivers. We had resident audiophile Steve Guttenberg listen to the Yamaha, and while he generally liked the sound, he liked Yamaha's step-up model and our reference Denon AVR 1912 a little more. But this is a much less expensive receiver, so that's not completely unexpected. But altogether, the RXV 473 just doesn't offer enough value when there are competing receivers that offer more connectivity and more features for the same price. The Yamaha RXV 473 isn't a bad receiver, but you can find a better deal elsewhere. I'm Matthew Moscoviak, and this is the Yamaha RXV 473.